Things you deal with co-parenting with toxicity. Explanation to follow. Subscribe to the channel.
What's happening, family? Listen, I wanted to drop this video real quick just to show you some of the things that we have to deal with as co-parents dealing with a narcissistic or toxic individual. And if you guys are in a co-parenting situation and you have any of these type of things going on, please get in the comment box and just stamp what I'm saying right here, because I know a lot of you guys are dealing with the same type of stuff that I'm dealing with. So just get in the comment box and let me know if you guys have shared any of the same experiences. But basically, the reason that I'm doing this video is because when dealing with narcissistic individuals, a lot of times they like to use like that get out of jail free card, that plausible deniability out. So they like to have, like I said, they like to have a sense of plausible deniability. So they do things in such a sneaky and subtle way that the general public wouldn't pick up on it, or if they did pick up on it, then it would just seem like a genuine mistake. And because it seems like a genuine mistake, everybody doesn't see why the targeted individual or the person, the victim in the situation, like why they are upset or why they are reacting the way that they are or any of that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to, like I said, just show you guys some of the subtle, sneaky ways and some of the things that they do behind the scenes to try to like get up under your skin. Because the whole thing about it is this normally happens, especially just speaking from my own personal experience, this only really happens when I've been gray rock and I haven't been feeding into the narcissist ego at all. And I also haven't been feeding into like her advances to get me to engage in any type of arguments or any of that kind of stuff. So basically, like I said, I've been completely gray rock. I couldn't go completely no contact because I do share a child with her. So we do have to have some type of interaction because of our child. But outside of that, like I don't feed into her emotionally in any type of way anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's basically, since I learned about narcissism and since I learned about what supply is, and I started realizing that any response that I really give her is giving her fuel to keep poking and prodding and trying to get some type of reaction out of me. So basically what's been happening lately is she's been trying to hoover. She's been trying to get some type of rise out of me. And I'm going to do a separate video on that because I just want to explain to you what I've experienced in like what they call the holiday hoover. I know a lot of you guys have seen a few videos, but I actually have been experiencing like the holiday hoovers lately. So I'm gonna do a whole separate video on the holiday hoover probably within the next day or two, just to give you guys some insight to a lot of the things that I've been dealing with behind the scenes as far as the hoover goes. But this video right here is just to show you some of like the subtle, sneaky ways that they do certain things, because like I said, they do things in such a way where if they get caught for it, it's like, oh, I didn't mean to, like, I didn't mean to hurt you. So it was, you know, like I said, they like to, especially the female narcissists, they like to have that damsel in distress card, and they like to have that plausible deniability card that they can always pull and say, well, I hurt this person, but I didn't mean to hurt this person. And the reason why I didn't mean to hurt this person was because it was an honest accident. It was an honest mistake. So, and sometimes even the victim can confuse themselves, because what they do and how they do it can seem like an honest mistake. But the problem is, just speaking from my own personal experience, narcissists have patterns and they do similar things, if not the same thing, over and over and over. So if they do something to you and it works one time, and they get away with it, they may tweak it a little bit, but they're probably going to do the same thing again. So in this situation, I just wanted to show you guys this video right quick, because this is the result, like what I'm showing you guys in this video is the result of the child exchange that I made with the narcissist. Like when she came to drop my son off, basically she came to the door, she didn't speak, she didn't say anything. We normally don't speak because I've been completely gray rock for almost 2 years now. So we don't usually speak anyway, but this particular time, she's been trying to get some type of rise out of me behind the scenes. I've been getting like text messages from random numbers and stuff like that. And like Thanksgiving just passed, and I recently got a random text message that's like Happy Thanksgiving. And of course, now that I know that she has been behind the scenes doing a lot of stalking and a lot of making fake pages on social media sites and all of that kind of stuff, I just stopped answering any number that I don't know, any number that is foreign to me. I just don't answer it at all. So because I've been not answering, the random numbers, and then I've also not really engaged with her when she's tried to come at me directly with a problem or with an argument, or she's trying to get some type of rise out of me. She's doing certain things to try to poke and prod at me, like, I'm not going to bring, like basically telling me weekends that she's not going to bring my son over, and she's, playing a parental alienation game, keeping my son away from me, things like that. So in the beginning, when you don't know what's going on, you kind of react to those type of things. But I was pretty good about not reacting, because even though I didn't know about narcissism, I just knew what she was doing was extremely childish, and I just wasn't trying to feed into the immaturity of it all. So basically, anytime that I go gray rock, she tries to do something to pull me out, I guess, out of that gray rock situation. Because like I said, with gray rock, or with, basically it's like losing a signal on you. They don't know where you are in the spectrum. They don't know if they can come back to you and, restart the cycle again. They don't know if y'all are completely done, because they don't have no soul. They don't have no feelings. They can't feel like if you're in love with them still or out of love with them. And a lot of times they are delusional to the point where you could be completely done with them, but in their mind, they'll still think like, oh no, this person still loves me. They still want to be with me. And it's like, it's the craziest thing in the world. Like, after all of the shit that you did to me, and after all of the things that you did to my family, out of the way that the situation ended up in this terrible co-parenting situation, basically in a parallel parenting situation, because we don't do anything together as a team, any of that kind of stuff. So it's like, whenever I don't feed into any of her provocations to engage in an argument, or even if it's something positive, like if she, my birthday comes and she gives me a birthday card, I may take the card, or sometimes I don't even take the card. Like, it just depends on, the circumstance or the situation. But a lot of times, see, I don't want anything to do with her, and I don't want anything to, and I don't want to feed her ego in any type of way. So a lot of times I will just, like I said, stay gray rock. Sometimes, just being cordial, I'll accept whatever it is, and, and keep it moving. But outside of that, like I said, because we're in a co-parenting situation, and because I have to deal with her on certain levels, I'm not able to just go completely no contact, to the point where we don't speak. Like, I can go no contact to the point where we don't speak, but I feel like a line of communication, because we share a child, a line of communication is always going to be open between us because of that fact. And I want to be there for my child, so because I want to be there for my child, I'm I'm going to always have some type of line of communication open until he's old enough to, you know, fully communicate on his own, and I don't have to deal with her at all. But right now, because I've been going gray rock, these are some of the things, and it's always like this after I've gone gray rock, and she's been poking at me, and I don't respond to any of those type of provocations. She'll do something like this. She'll do something like like I'm showing you in this video. So basically, what ended up happening in this video is we were doing a child exchange. She walks up with my son. She doesn't speak anything like that. She walks up and she hands my son to me, you know, and I grab him just with, you know, like normal. She knows that basically that's what I do. He's still a baby. So, you know, when he can walk, but he doesn't walk, you know, he can definitely walk, but when he walks up, he usually runs up to me and he jumps up in my arms. She knows that. So what she ended up doing was she put all of this, it smelled like medicated Vaseline. It was, you know, and it was basically all over the place. It was all over him. And I didn't realize that it was all over him. Now, the reason that I say it's plausible deniability is because a child could actually get into a mess like that, right? A child could actually grab a tube of, you know, Vaseline and play in it and that kind of stuff. That happens all the time. However, number one, she was in the car and he was locked in his car seat. You know what I'm saying? He was in his car seat. So did she just have the bottle of medicated Vaseline or ointment or whatever it was? Did she have it just sitting on the seat next to him? I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I highly doubt it. And it looks like she was rubbing it on his face, trying to, you know, I guess he had a little rash or something. So it looks like she was putting it on his face, and she purposely put extra on his hands and all of that kind of stuff, because when he came and he grabbed me, it was like he just had all of this oily substance all over his hands or whatever the case may be. Now, it was dark when she pulled up, so I couldn't actually see that he had all of this stuff on his hands. So once we came in the house and I was able to get into the light, then I was able to see, okay, he's not only does he have this stuff all over his, like not only is it all over me, but it's all over him. And like I said, I feel like I've seen this before, because on my son's first birthday, I was again holding my son in my arms, and we were singing him happy birthday, and she literally grabbed his hand and smushed it down in the cake and like pushed his whole arm and everything into the cake. She knows he's a baby, and not only does she know he's a baby, she knows I have him in my arms. So when she did it, it was like he pulled his hand out and he just started flinging cake everywhere. So it's like, you know, whatever outfit that I had on, regardless of whether I had something to do after the party or whatever, any of that kind of stuff, it was just like, oh well, I'm just gonna mess his shit up. You know what I'm saying? So basically, she smushed his hand down in there, and she knew once he took his hand out, he was gonna get cake everywhere. So she smashes his hand down in the cake. Cake goes everywhere, and I'm looking at her like, why would you do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on. I mean, even if you wanted to play with him, with it being his birthday, take a little piece of cake, put it on his face, whatever the case may be. But it was like, she purposely did it to get under my skin, and she purposely did it because she knew he was going to make a big mess. She knew it was going to be like a messy situation if she did that. And when I asked her, like, why would you do that? She's, I don't know. I didn't mean to. I didn't know that he was going to get it everywhere. And I'm like, you're a 40-year-old woman, and you're telling me that you didn't know that a baby was going to fling cake everywhere if you smashed his whole hand and everything in it? You know what I'm saying? Like, but these are just some of the subtle things that they do behind the scenes. So in this situation, I am almost certain, like, I'm not saying that it can't be an accident, but 9 times out of 10, whenever you're dealing with a narcissistic person, when something like that happens, it was designed to happen that way. It was designed and structured to happen that way. And it was almost like, because I haven't been, you know, responding in any other type of way, she wanted to make this big mess and all of that kind of stuff, so that when she pulled off, that I would call her back and be like, why would you, have his hand all in Vaseline? Or why would you? She basically wanted me to engage with her in some type of way. And because I knew that that's what she wanted, I just took the stuff and I threw it in the washing machine and all of that kind of stuff. I'm actually hoping that all of the stains come out now. But like I said, I just wanted to do this video because a lot of times behind the scenes, people that either have not been through narcissistic abuse or that don't understand what they're dealing with, they won't pick up on the fact that this person is doing certain things purposefully. You know what I'm saying? They're doing things to try to actually provoke you, get under your skin, try to get some type of reaction out of you so that they can either change the narrative or get you to react in some type of way, because your reaction is their control. Like if they can continue to get you to react to the way that they do things, then they are still pretty much under control. So you got to take your power back. You got to get in control of yourself. And that's one of the things that I had to actually open my eyes up and realize what was going on, because every time that I would react in a negative way, it was like I felt like I was relinquishing my control. I felt like I was relinquishing my power in that situation. So once I got in control of myself to the point where I wasn't reacting at all, to the point where my gray rock game had gotten so strong that I was able to just like laugh stuff off, walk away. Because you'll eventually get to the point in your healing journey. I know a lot of you guys are still new into your situation or whatever the case may be, but in my situation, it's been a couple years now, and I've had some time to get over a lot of the betrayal and a lot of the things that happened in that situation. But it still doesn't negate the fact that she continues to like poke and prod at me. And that's just gonna happen in a co-parenting situation dealing with a toxic person. It's like, so like I said, if you guys don't have any kids with the narcissist, like, run. You know what I'm saying? If you can get out now and you can get out without having any type of connection with these people, and you can just get out and stay out, get out and stay out, stay away from them. And, until they get help. If they want to, if they want to remain in your life, make sure they get therapy, make sure they are sincere about therapy, and make sure they're actually making the necessary changes to be a better person in your life, your kids' life, and all of that kind of stuff. In my situation, I feel like it's a lost cause because she's so petty and she's so childish, and it's to the point where she's done so many things and crossed so many lines that we will probably never ever be able to be friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, a narcissist is never your friend anyway. But, even from my standpoint, she's done so much at this point that I will never be able to accept her anywhere close to me, and I will never trust her again. So with the trust being gone, what else is there left? Like, even as far as a friendship, we can never be that again. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I just wanted to drop this video and just show you guys behind the scenes some of the things that they do and some of the ways that they would just like continue to try to do things to get under your skin, and they know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but even though they know what they're doing, to the outside world looking in, it'll look like an accident, it'll look like a mistake, and it'll look like, well, it was just, and not only that, they'll blame it on the child. You know what I'm saying? Like, they won't take responsibility of saying, okay, yeah, I am an adult and I shouldn't have allowed the child to get into that mess and get the stuff all over the place, because however you try to chop that up, it's still your responsibility as an adult to make sure that the child doesn't have, because it was, like I said, it was medicated Vaseline. So it was like he was rubbing the stuff all in his eyes. And I wish I had taken a picture of my son, because he had this stuff globbed all on his face. He had it, all up in his eyes. And I got some on my face and got a little bit in my eye, and it was burning my eye a little bit. So, just as a parent, you think that they would, you know, she would keep that type of stuff out of his hands so it wouldn't get in his eyes and wouldn't, you know, burn his eyes or do any of that kind of stuff. So it, in all reality, it's still her responsibility to, you know, make sure he doesn't have that type of stuff. So, but like I said, to the outside world looking in, they'll play it off and, oh, it was an accident. I didn't even realize he had that. Oh my God, I must have just left it in his lap. I was putting it on his face and I just left. No, they doing that on purpose. You know what I'm saying? And they doing it on purpose to get under your skin, especially if you haven't been giving them any type of energy. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to drop this video, man. Make sure y'all take y'all power back, get in front of the problem, man. And I love each and every last one of you guys. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate each and every last one of you guys for continuing to rock with the channel and helping me grow. And I hope you found value in this video, and I hope you find value in all the others. Love you guys, and I'll talk to y'all in a minute.